it is interesting. Some extended discussion, or rather, uh, you know, just understanding about temperaments in children, you know, and I think it is important to know that this is quite um, very instrumental topic, rather, a subject of discussion, because every human being has a temperament. What we give a blanket coverage as personality, there are things that make our personalities. And so some of these actually begin right when children are young and are growing. And of course, as they get exposed to education and in the process, in that journey of learning, if we as teachers and of course parents do not take into consideration the milestones and the metamorphosis that children need to go through as far as their temperaments are concerned, then we may lose the children in the course of the journey. So today I just want to give us a brief description of what the um, each category of temperament entail, and perhaps what you need to do to work on to support, to give support and guidance to the children as they grow and as they develop, in this journey, especially the journey of education, the journey of learning. So, melancholics, I would interestingly, this topic is really covered in a deeper extent in a world of curriculum, another world of system of education, which is really important that we interact with. Yeah, there are a lot of things that the founder, the late Dr. Rudolf Steiner, talked about and has revealed that are really helpful for the child. One interesting thing that I've learned with Steiner's concept is the philosophy behind um, anthroposophy. His anthroposophical concepts and beliefs are really important, and really powerful because he recognizes human beings as spiritual bodies, spiritual beings who exist, in a physical existence. If I would paraphrase that and put it in a simple way to understand it. So this goes, also to the children. When I'm working with children, I have to understand that there is something beyond the physical body and the physical element that I'm seeing, in the child. So I look at the child in that aspect, that a child has the spirit, the child operates in the soul level, the child operates um, at a body level, and all these faculties have to work together. They have to be aligned for a child to experience, um, um, that growth that is needed for him to learn, or him or her to learn and to develop. So melancholics, as we said at the time, are those who we give them, we equate them to the element earth. Okay, so the like the element earth. We have four elements, the earth, the air, the fire, and of course the water. You know, as Steinhardt, put them. And so melancholics are balanced, you know, They are considerate children, they are understanding, but the unbalanced flip side of that is that they are self-pitying. Yeah, self-pitying. That is melancholics. Sanguines, if I would go just briefly a bit faster, um, they are the element air, and air is everywhere. You get it? Yeah. So a balanced concept or approach, or rather state, of sanguines is that they are socially aware and they are caring. Yeah. Sanguines are quite, caring, but the unbalanced part of sanguine is that they are superficial. They're superficial. So you see, as a teacher, as a parent, when I know my child is sanguine, I have to, work with them, encourage them, you know, to be aware of, their surrounding with themselves socially, caring, supporting, the attribute of caring, but also working to help the child, you know, live above, superficial aspect. That is something. And then we have got cholerics. Cholerics is given the element fire, okay, as Stena puts it. And of course, a balanced attribute, for the cholerics is that they are selfless, they are, I would say, brave, and they portray a lot of leadership, traits in them. Children who want to be the leader. They want to take charge. They want to, be in control of the rest. I mean, that is an attribute for the cholerics. But um, the unbalanced trait, the unbalanced context of the cholerics is that sometimes they are destructive and they portray some elements of dictatorship. So when we work with cholerics, then as a parent or as a teacher, now this now is the area of concern that I need to help the child, you know, develop and grow out of, the element of distraction, element of dictatorship. But the element of selflessness and leadership, that is a positive attribute that has to be encouraged, and the child continues with that. Then we are helping the child. The last group is phlegmatics, the phlegmatic child, and the element we give phlegmatics is water, yeah, the water. And the balance aspect or context of phlegmatics is that they are reliable. Phlegmatics are faithful. Yes, you have come across children who, I mean, they will do things the way they are needed. They will heed. You speak to them, you give them the instructions, they heed. Inside them, from within them, is that element of just being faithful to follow instructions, faithful to do things the way they are. They are reliable. You can count on them. But the flip side of the phlegmatic is that um, they have some elements of laziness in them. It's interesting. Yeah. So as we work with phlegmatics, they're reliable, they're faithful, but we have to know that we have to help them, to get out, get through the attribute of the unbalanced context of their temperament. And of course, we have to be aware that temperament is uh, um, normally predominant between the ages of 5 heading to 14, okay, up to around 14. And it's crucial during this element years to be aware of both um, the children's temperament and the recommended, parental or rather parenting and teaching strategies that we need to employ to help the children develop a balanced fashion or other version of their lives. So it is quite interesting, yeah, quite interesting. These are things that work. Many times you have come across children who have been branded and been given names, children um, who have been mistaken, to be having, either behavior issues and many sorts of things. And it's because there is a temperament that perhaps we are not able to develop or rather to encourage or to help the child overcome if it is on the unbalanced context of that temperament. But it's also interesting to note that generally, naturally, young children are naturally sanguines, okay? Yeah, until that age of 5, when we can be certain, and we can feel that attribute, that temperament genuinely describes a child. But children from younger age, the first year, second, third, I mean, they're jolly, they're just everywhere. So it's really not very easy to identify, locate, and ascertain a temperament until at the age of 5. So you need to be aware about that. And therefore, childhood is naturally a state, of joy and excitement, curiosity, enthusiasm, sociability, and being caught up here and there, is normal for a child between the age of 1 to the age of 5. So after the age of 5, then we begin now to really make notable observations and keen interest in their behavior and temperament. Um, some of the characteristics, things that we uh, will not, or rather see, we will take note of in these 4 categories of temperaments are here. And very fast I will go through them. Number 1, let me start with melancholics. Children who are melancholics actually grow tall quite fast, rather quickly. That's one way of identifying the melancholics. And they shuffles and walks with heads bent. Yeah, melancholics will, if you see a child who walks and they're always, having their heads bent, then there are traits of melancholism in them. Their feet and hands seem far away. And melancholics also think about the meaning of life. They are quite thoughtful, you know. Yes, they brew, what do you call it? Yeah, a lot of, brooding going on in them. And they always like to be spectators. You know, that is a melancholic for you. And melancholics also ask quite awkward questions about your dance. So if you find a child, you meet a child who um, who asks questions that you want, and you're like, okay, please, you don't put them off. You have to understand that they are, in that realm of melancholism. Those are melancholics. And melancholics are always disillusioned. They always become disillusioned with teachers. Children who are melancholics are also interested in grammar. They're interested in meaning. They're always interested in structure, and they always want to know why. Yes, they're concerned, about why things happen the way they happen. That is a melancholic child. So if you have such, then you have to know how to engage such a child. Melancholics are always concerned about past events, past things that have just faded. They will always remember them. And so it is obvious, clear to say that melancholics always hold grudges, even if they don't tell you, they don't tell it, no, but just know they hold them within them. So, what is the negative side? Let me use that word, okay, for now. Okay, you know, the unpositive side of melancholics with the attributes and and the traits that we have seen. They are prone to being egocentric. Yes, and so that is something that we have to work on when dealing with melancholics, so that we help them to overcome, that aspect of egocentrism. Okay, let's get to the second category. And second category, we have got sanguines. A sanguine is a light-hearted. That is why we grade them, we give them the element, the air, okay? The air. So they are light-hearted, they are, fleet-footed, smiling, delightful, they're jolly, they learn quickly. Yeah, interestingly. Sanguines learn quickly, and they are tremendously enthusiastic with everything and about everything. That is sanguines for you. Their feet hardly touch the ground, you know. So if you find children who are, you know, they are not settled, okay? They don't settle on the ground. As they walk, they are, on their toes. Then you know when you have a sanguine. And you need to know how to help such a child grow, develop to be a better sanguine, because you cannot change that in them. Okay? So their feet hardly touch the ground. They are charming. Sanguines are charming. They are concerned with, you know, the here and the now and the where, and just concerned. And they are concerned with influences around them, you know, because how would I put it? They are not bothered about their moods and what they feel. They're concerned about, you know, life around them, around people, because they connect with everyone around them. So that is something. They are concerned with the present, outside themselves. Yeah. So their concern is about the present and out of themselves. They are into the world. And so they are social. But one thing that sanguines are prone to is that they are prone to being superficial. Yeah. And so as a parent, as a teacher, then we have to know if we have got sanguines in our class, in our classes, if I have a sanguine in my house, if I'm working with sanguines, then I know that I have to help them. That is one of the unbalanced context of their temperament. They are prone to being superficial. Yeah. So we have that. We need to help them to find grounding, and believe in possibilities and realities of life. Very fast, let's get into the third category, and here we have cholerics. Okay, cholerics, we give them the fire element, fire. They always race through the door, shouting, oh, I'm home, I'm back, oh, I'm from school, get it. They are, yes, that energy. And cholerics always need a huge career. Yeah, trees to climb, things to build. They're busy, they're busy. You know, almost, like sanguinity, but, the sanguines are just in the air. I mean, but cholerics have that, that stability, that the sanguines do not have. They are always concerned about the future. Cholerics, yeah, that is children who look forward to, yeah, what next, what is tomorrow. I mean, what they are concerned about what comes, and of course their stature, the body, is stocky. They have stocky built bodies. Um, but interesting thing about cholerics is that they are tremendously warm. They possess some warmth in them, and it's obvious that when they're stormy, obviously, it happens when they are excited. You know, so when they're excited, then they get too much until they get charged. So in that process of being excited, that is when they get stormy, and you know they can invoke, or rather, yeah, imply some outside force to someone else. So they can be negative, and destructive as far as their temper is concerned. Always, when they're charged and excited, they're looking for a fight. You know. So if you have once, I had a child in my class, as a class teacher, that is in grade 5. Very warm. Outside, the field when people are playing is so, and actually they love even the young people, the young children. So warm, full of, empathy and, name it. But when in the field, that's where the fights begin. He was a very good footballer, so when they get excited and, start judging, then it's easily, uh, turns into a fight. Yeah, choleric, that's choleric for you. So they are prone to the unbalanced context of cholerics being prone to distraction rather, destructive um, aspect of their behavior or rather their personality. So that is what we need to tap, the knowledge and understanding how to help them, work around that aspect of distractiveness and that distraction. The last, as we conclude, is phlegmatics. A phlegmatic child is a child who is full of comfort. They are loving, they love repetition, yes. So if you know a child is phlegmatic, remember, you have to keep repeating things. And see, this is where sometimes we go wrong, or either we miss the mark, because I remember there's a group of class that I taught, and we learn songs, and we keep repeating them, repeating them in a class, the next session, and then there are children who do not want, I mean, a song that has been sung and they know it. They don't want it to be sung again, or they want something new. But for a group of children, they will always insist, that the others don't want, that others, either have gotten used to. That is what they want, to them it's that. So phlegmatics thrive with repetition. So, and this includes even rules and regulations for the class before either lessons begin or when the lessons end. Always reminding them, what are our rules for class, and the guys will always keep them. Even if you forget as a teacher, I remember uh, there were students who always reminded me when we were ending the lesson that we have not mentioned the rules. So they keep, remembering and surviving and thriving on repetition. So that is quite fulfilling for the phlegmatics. They're always faithful and loyal. They are hard to move. When they settle for something and they have settled their minds. It is very hard to sway them here and there. They are also referred to as, I think this will also mean a lot, as we understand with phlegmatics, that they are still waters, okay? Still waters that run deep. Yes. If you look at phlegmatic, They are always practical, you know. Phlegmatics are practical, they want to do things, that in fact, at some point, I think I am a phlegmatic, yeah, somehow. But interesting thing, human beings, we have not two uh, temperaments, but it's always said one is dominant and the other one is passive. So yeah, you just dominant, but always, the work, yeah, within each other. So phlegmatics are also concerned with the present, but inside them, remember that those who are concerned about the present, but outside, like sunbeams, okay? But for phlegmatic, it's present and inside within themselves. They love to feel content and warm. That is phlegmatics. Yeah, they always want to, feel like, yeah. If they're not sure about something, they really get worried. Okay? But when they know something, when they understand something, they get happy, that they are content, and they are, at a good space, what they know or what they've learned. One interesting thing about phlegmatics is that they're prone to being lazy. Yeah, yeah, they're prone to being lazy. So as we work with phlegmatics, we also have to keep pushing them, reminding them, so that the unbalanced context of their temperament is built, and gets improved. Yeah. So that is all for today about the temperaments. I believe that we have gained, we have, tapped something from this. It is very important. These are things that have made children lose their paths, have made parents and teachers, brand children with tags that have, reflected positively in the lives of the children and students, you know. But when we identify them, and that is why I say teaching is an because it is a calling, on top of profession, it is a calling. Because there are things that we do that are beyond just being a profession. So I know it takes time, but when one masters how to identify the temperaments of the children and students that they work with, then life becomes somehow easier when we are dealing with children. When I'm giving, especially dealing with younger children, when I'm giving activities, I will know what kind of activities will, that I have to include in my, structure or the learning that will make sanguines be satisfied, that will make melancholics be, fulfilled, that will meet the colorics and phlegmatics. You get it? Yeah. Otherwise, if you're not careful, then you realize that I only carry a group of children or students with me. The others are left behind, not because I want, but it's because I have failed to identify, how to connect, with them. Getting that? Yeah, there is something I wanted to mention, but I think I'll do this in the next episode, which is very common that teachers always do, and it's a mistake that should not be done. Or actually, teachers always say it is something that they should not to children. Yes. Otherwise, thank you so much. Please continue. You can share the link to, friends, relatives, parents, fellow parents, teachers, yeah, so that we help young people, to develop as they metamorphosize into adulthood with good guidance and help. Thank you.